Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 versus the 5. Is it worth it? What's the truth about these two phones? Well, I'm going to talk about it in this video and let you know that I was right. So my Z Fold 6 finally showed up. I'll talk more about that later. But yeah, like I said from the get-go, there's not a whole lot of stuff here to move over from the Z Fold 5 to the 6, unless you just wanted to get the great trade-in value they had. They had $1,200 trade-in credit. But of course, they upped the price on the Z Fold 6 by $100, went up to $1,899, $100 price increase, but they give you more support, 7 years of operating system updates, 7 years of security patches. So just before we get into too much discussion, what's really different over here? Well, it's about 14, 15 grams lighter, which in the grand scheme of things really isn't that big of a deal. Just for a chemistry reference or a weights and balances reference, I learned this in chemistry back in my freshman year of college, 454 grams in a pound. So ultimately, when you're talking about 14 grams, really not that big of a difference weight-wise. I don't notice much. They changed the aspect ratio slightly on the front screen. It's supposed to be like 6.3 instead of 6.2 inches. It's slightly shorter, slightly wider, and then the phone itself slightly thinner. It's got a more boxed off frame. So if you take a look at it, the corner on the Z Fold 5, the screen up there is rounded and it's squared off here, which gives it a more flatter, wider stance. So that right there is just some geometrical aesthetics that makes it maybe feel a little bit larger in the hand than it actually is. But honestly, when you're looking at both of them, there's not that big of a difference. Inside screen is unchanged. And they did a couple other changes. The crease on the inside of the Z Fold 6 is just a little bit shallower, so it's not quite as pronounced. The Z Fold 5, I thought it was okay. I mean, it's one of those things where people have been complaining for a long time. The creases with Samsung are not going away anytime soon. They just aren't. So there's one huge upgrade, though, with the Z Fold 6, and that is it has IP, instead of IPX8 water resistance, it has IP48 dust and water resistance. So people are like, oh my gosh, it has dust resistance finally. Let's not make any mistakes here. IP48 is like it protects against items that are 1 millimeter. So it prevents something 1 millimeter in size from getting inside of the phone and protecting against it. So basically nothing. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, it's great. You can put that on paper and say it's improved, but really it's kind of meaningless. So cameras are basically the same. Inside camera, same. Selfie camera, same. Primary camera, same. Telephoto camera, same. It has a new ultra wide for those of you who care. It has a new chip under the hood, so you got the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3 in the Z Fold 6, and you have the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2 and the Z Fold 5. Both very, very, very capable chipsets. They're both 3 nanometers, but the interesting thing is they actually squeeze some more power. The benchmarks on single and multi-core actually are pretty substantial over the Z Fold 5, and you've got some improvements in boost in AI. And that's one of the things that Samsung's really dialing in on with these phones, AI. There's some meaningful stuff there. It's just going to keep getting better. But another contrast, 4 years of operating system updates, 5 years of security patches with the Z Fold 5. With the 6, again, I said it was 7 and 7. Battery size, the same. RAM, the same. Charging speed, still the same. Still limited to 25 watts. Still has reverse wireless charging, 4.5 watts. Still has wireless charging. So you got all that. Speakers, the sound, the same. Recurring pattern here. Like there's a theme. Not much has significantly changed. The screen has gotten brighter, though. We bumped it up. Now 2600 nits maximum brightness. The screen does look a little bit better, a little bit brighter, but of course part of that might just be because I have a less dark and dull background. It's neat that they come color matched out of the box. I've got the gray phone or silver, whatever they call it. I got the matching case with the S Pen on the back. I gotta say though, this gray case with the black S Pen looks fantastic. But essentially it's the same case. It's the same S Pen as last year. There's nothing really groundbreaking. They did go out of their way to make the camera appearance a little bit different on the back. Like you see both of them, they're a little bit different, more pronounced, stands out more. They did that. That's just something that makes them look like they're different and newer, but really they aren't. And I've seen some picture comparisons. Really what we got, no real camera upgrade, but we do have some image signaling processor updates. So a little bit sharper photos, a little bit more natural appearance from what I'm seeing, a little bit better in low light. And that's really going to be about it. I mean, there's not a whole lot they're going to do there. These cameras are pretty tapped out. They've been there for years. They've been refined and refined and refined, put through the wash and dry cycle a few times. So, yeah, So like I said in the beginning, really not worth it if you have the Z Fold 5. And again, I don't discourage people. If you want to go out there, spend your hard-earned money, you only live once, YOLO, all that stuff. If you can resist the FOMO, fear of missing out, then that's cool too. If you got a good deal, great. I like deals. I kind of got a deal. So long story short, I'm going to just synopsize this real quick. So I ordered my Z Fold 6 and my watch on July the 12th. So 2 days after the pre-order started. It was supposed to be here on July 24th. And as you probably noticed, a lot of people got theirs a week early, 6 days, 5 days early. My phone showed up. It actually bumped up. It got to Houston on the 22nd, and then it didn't go out for delivery. And then it didn't go out for the delivery on the 23rd. And then it was supposed to go on delivery on the 24th, and then it got held, and then it went out on the 25th, and I got it at like 8 o'clock that night. So it was a whirlwind of emotions when it came to the phone. My Z Flip 6 order got straight up canceled by Samsung. My Ring order, I waited too long, and they were sold out, back ordered into oblivion on Samsung. So I got one on Best Buy. No harm, no foul. It was supposed to be available on the 24th. Also, they overbooked, way back ordered. It's back ordered into like Narnia, so far away. And then my Galaxy Watch Ultra, also I pre-ordered that on July the 12th. It was supposed to be on the 24th, and it initially got pushed back to the first week of August. Now it's pushed back to like the 15th of August. So who knows when that's going to show up? Like, who knows? At this point, it'll be like, by the time I'm able to review it, it'll be over a month after the watches come out. So I may just say, screw it. Who knows? But anyway, with the phone, that finally got an upgraded hinge, I believe, since like the Z Fold 3. And of course, it's nice. It's flat. The aesthetics on this phone, this is one of these things. It's really hard to get excited about it from a material perspective, because it's like, all right, yeah, they made it a little thinner, a little square, gave it a flat appearance instead of the shiny appearance, same accessories, same old. And that's fine. There's no big deal, but we expect a little bit more, right? Especially for a $1,900 phone. I want them to upgrade the cameras. I want them to give us faster charging. You know, I'd like them to do quite a few things. I'd love S Pen support on the front. I'd love to get where the S Pen can be inside of it. And these are things I've been saying for years. I've said this since the Z Fold 3. Like, the Z Fold 3 was a good upgrade. It was substantial. And then we went to the Z Fold 4. Okay, 1 year, no big deal. No harm, no foul. And then we get to the Z Fold 5, and it's like, all right, these same talking points I've been going at for a little while now are getting kind of old and tired. Surely by the Z Fold 6, they'll do some of these things, right? And they still haven't. So I thought there was going to be a little bit more of a push this year, because of course we got the OnePlus Open. Everybody loved that. Fantastic phone. We got the Google Pixel Fold, which I got mine right here charging, because I'm going to make a video about that later on. But yeah, it's like the same old story over and over. It's like we keep reading the same Dr. Seuss Hop on Pop book and expect to have a different outcome, and it's not. They just put a new cover on it. So we'll see what happens as we move forward. It's an excellent phone. Like, none of these things I'm saying are to disparage the actual phone. I just wish Samsung would be a little bit more engaged in pushing this in the right direction, giving us more meaningful updates other than 7 years of support, which most people don't believe it'll last that long anyway. A brighter screen, which it was already substantially bright. No real huge difference there. It is nice. And shaving off like 14 grams. Like, there's not a whole lot here. So if you are looking for something revolutionary in this phone, you might experience that. If you came up from the Z Fold 2, Z Fold 3, Z Fold 4, I've had several people in the comments who are like, yeah, I absolutely love this phone. I'm moving over from my Z Fold 3. That's who this phone is for. This phone is for people who are on a 2-year, 3-year, 4-year upgrade cycle. Remember when they had, I think it was the Fold 3, they were financing it for like 4 years? Or maybe it was the Fold 2. If you were the Fold 2 guy that got financed it for 4 years, here's your phone. And I like the phone. I love the Fold. The Galaxy Z Fold is my favorite of the folding phones. And I think it's the most useful, especially here in the States. I love the S Pen integration, One UI 6.1. We're going to get One UI 7 probably in a couple of months. You've got Android 15 right on the horizon with the Google Pixel phones. You've got the best multitasking, best split screen options. And I think the cameras are pretty good all the way around. I enjoy them. The performance is good. And yeah, battery life seems okay so far too. I don't like to comment on that too much, but it's the same 4,400 milliamp battery. So yeah, that's it. I mean, straight to the point. I laugh whenever I see a lot of these videos, and it's like, oh, the true review, the real review, the honest review. I'm like, Are you people not giving real reviews on everything? Are you not being honest on everything? I mean, I know some people do it kind of like to poke because, I mean, maybe I'll do it one day. I thought about calling my video the dishonest review just so people would click on it and be like, it's not dishonest. I'm not making a dishonest video. It's just interesting, the gamesmanship that goes on YouTube. But honestly, is it worth the extra $100? I mean, yes, we've got 7 years of support now, a couple few things there. I mean, that's nice. It's going to be a good phone for a long time. And Samsung has made a couple improvements here and there, but also the price of everything has gone up. I was talking to my wife about it earlier. My homeowner's insurance in the last 4 years has gone from $189 to $480. My car insurance from $170 to $400. My electricity bill, $200 to $400. It was inevitable at some point these prices were going to go up, and I think it was pretty well foreshadowed pretty good earlier this year when we saw the S24 series get bumped up $100. So I expected it. It came, it showed up. I didn't even fight it this year. I was like, I'm not even predicting against it. I believe that this price increase is going to happen. But anyway, it's a good phone. You'll enjoy it. If you decided to wait, you'll be happy with the one you have now because there's not a substantial difference in looks, performance, expectations. It's all there. And then your Z Fold 5 is still supported for another 4 years. So you're going to be good for a little while. So if you decided to get one, I hope you enjoy it. If you are going to wait till next year, that might be a good idea too. So that's all I got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if you like this stuff, please hit the like and the subscribe button and a little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.